ongoing. How do you feel about that?
No, it was cool. I didn't know, obviously, in the moment, like, didn't
Yeah.
really realize that it was a record-breaking kick. Just seemed routine. And then, after the game, I checked my phone and I saw it, so definitely made me happy.
Are you glad in a way that you didn't know, or like, does that make a difference? I guess. Do you feel like you would have thought any different if you knew?
I mean, I don't know. Probably not. Like, you kind of just have to force those things in the back of your mind and not let them take over. But yeah, it was definitely easier to not have to think about, oh, this is going to be the one that breaks the record.
But even still, I mean, I'm sure you must be aware that you've made a lot this season.
Yeah.
So you had the confidence, I guess, knowing.
Yeah, no. Like I said, I mean, it was a routine kick for us. Like, we were more than in range, and I mean, I trust our guys that they send out there, and so I trust myself to do my job. So
obviously more left to do, but I guess what does it mean to you that in a short time at KU you'll leave your name in the record book somewhere?
Yeah, no, it's huge. That's a good question. It's really important to me. I made an impact at South Alabama. And, one of my things was, if I'm going to transfer, like, I don't want to transfer somewhere where I'm just going to peter out. Like, I want to make an impact somewhere. And that was my challenge to myself over the offseason. How do you keep your edge? And we talk about that a lot, like, within our program, within our culture. And, yeah, so I'm glad that some of that hard work is starting to come to fruition. And, like, I can say that, hey, I've left a mark at KU.
When you were in the transfer portal, is that any part of what KU maybe pitched to you coming here, that you could make that type of impact?
Yeah, absolutely. They said, well, we want to bring you here to make field goals and be the guy. And yeah, that's, obviously a few things have to, come together before that plan can, be shown to everybody else, but it does feel like stuff is coming together in a good way. Like, everybody's really clicking.
Sorry. How important was it knowing Kyle Dween and having the connection that you felt comfortable?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I just knew, like, the type of coach he was. So, a lot of times, I've transferred twice, and one of them was more of a, hey, I'm taking a really big risk here. I don't know anybody in the state of Alabama, let alone Mobile. I really didn't know anybody in Lawrence, Kansas either, but I knew Kyle Dween. I know the type of coach he was, and the way he's going to, like, stick up for his guys and really try to put them in the best possible situations to succeed. And that's really important for me my last year. So, yeah.
All these makes. Do you remember your last miss?
Yeah, of course I remember it. Yeah, I remember it like it was yesterday. Yeah, it's just one of those things, I mean, people miss. Like, I'm human,
Sure. But it's been a while.
People do. It has been a while, and that's a good thing. Hoping to just continue to increase that and make the record harder to break. But those things are just they happen, and you can either wallow in it or you can accept the mistake and get better from it and make the next one. And so, yeah, that's what I tried to do. So,
you made a 55-yarder, I
Yeah.
believe. Where does the leg for you max out, I guess? So where are you at right now, and where do you see yourself being able to be?
Yeah, I mean, I think it obviously, like, it depends on the conditions. You know what I mean? And that's a real thing when you're talking about 55 plus. 55, 60-yard range. Obviously you just seen, Cam Little, who's my age, was in my class, just hit a 68-yarder, in game, and hit a 70-yarder preseason. So, I think I can hit from 60. That 55-yarder was good from pretty deep. I think some people said it would have been good from 62, 63. So, you just kind of have to see. I have to see and see what Coach Leipold is comfortable with, the situation of the game. Is it 4th and 2, and we need a score, and it's more likely we can get this 4th and short than a 65-yard field goal, or is it like Texas Tech where there's a few seconds left? Why not give them a try? So those sort of situations, like, when they come up, we assess them and you go out there and do your job if you're asked to.
I guess since you mentioned Cam Little, what's your take on? It seems like kickers' ranges are getting deeper and deeper.
Absolutely.
By the week, even.
Yeah.
What do you make of that?
I mean, 50 is the new, 60 is the new 50.
Yeah.
It used to be guys can hit from 50, and that's just like, it's not that special anymore, really. You know, you look at, like, obviously the 55-yarder was deep, but you look at some of the deeper kicks in college this season, and, you know, guys have 58, 59. I think there's a guy with a 60. So, you know, kickers just keep getting stronger, and, you know, that range starts to increase for sure.
This might be a somewhat silly question. You mentioned the conditions, but you're going to go play at Arizona where it's
Yeah.
going to be warmer. Does that change things at all, I guess, for you? The fact that in November you're going to go play somewhere where it's going to be
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's nice, you know. It's nice to, you know, have an away game where you can kind of almost, you know, get away with, like, not having to feel uncomfortable in the cold, but it really doesn't change anything mentally in terms of how you prepare for the game. Maybe you know, you just don't throw sleeves on instead. But at the end of the day, you know, I mean, it's the same. We're going to play a game there, and so you prepare the same way.
How do you feel about the nickname Money Marjan?
I don't mind it. I mean, it's, you know, it's I told him. I think Sean Kellerman came up with it. I told him, I was like, yeah, I mean, it's fine. It doesn't sound too bad. It's cool. But yeah.
We got the alliteration.